So I heard Pharrell dropped a new album, but it's not on streaming. So you gotta pay for it.
That's what's up.
That's what I heard.
Good for him. I can't believe him and Hugo is beefing.
I know, right?
First, the Fat Boys breakup.
Well, but you know what happens.
Do you know when it's over?
Yeah, apparently Pharrell went to try and copyright the Neptune's name without Chad.
All right, let's talk about
Why would he do that? Though?
Apparently.
I mean, but you know something, when you have partnerships and one just starts to just grow exponentially and the other one just sort of stops, you'll start to get a certain level of bitterness, I think, a lot of times, unless the person...
Yeah, no, that's natural.
You know.
Yeah, but I don't know if you can chalk this one up to bitterness. Like, we are the Neptunes, bro.
So that too, though, yeah, it's a group,
that's
it's a
us.
collective.
That's me and you. You running off trademarking or copyrighting the name.
Yeah, you could be Pharrell all you want.
Yeah, but...
You could be Louis Vuitton, you could be all that. You just can't be Neptunes.
I didn't remember stepping to you talking about, hey, I want a piece of this, that, and the third, but we are the Neptunes. When people wanted a beat and they said, I want a Neptunes track.
Yeah, they ain't go to one person.
It's not a Pharrell track. It's a little different.
You've been doing Pharrell tracks all this time by yourself, no issue.
Yeah,
but
no one's tripping. Yeah.
Come on now.
Yeah, I wonder why they stopped working together.
Great question.
I wonder if Chad just retired.
He probably just...
Chad likes to stay in the house. Pharrell likes to be outside. Pharrell becomes more popular. Chad gets these comments every now and then. Oh, Pharrell did this or Pharrell did that, and then he starts to feel bitter. And Pharrell's like, "What are you bad about? You stay in the house all the time." And there it is.
I don't see it like that.
It happens.
I've never really met either one of them. I briefly met Pharrell. I've never even seen Chad in person.
But that's the thing, is what you said earlier. His career skyrocketed.
But I interviewed both of them.
Yeah.
In the beginning, towards the beginning. Early on, Chad was like, it's really easy to fly off the handle and do all that shit and wild out. He was talking about family life back then. Staying in the house, wifing. He was on that kind of time.
He was married?
I believe so. I'd have to go look at it again, but I remember his whole thing was, I don't care about outside. Like, he can go do that. It's great that he does that. So I don't have to. So I don't see bitterness like on some old, you're more popular than me.
All right, because Pharrell was also the vocalist. He was doing the vocals.
Exactly.
Yeah. Chad never did any vocals at all.
Just all production.
Just all production.
He made money, stayed quiet, stayed out the way.
So Pharrell went to go copyright the beat on his own.
Was Chad on Nerd?
Yeah, Chad's a part of Nerd.
Part of Nerd, yeah.
Chad's a part of Nerd. That's a 3-man group.
So, but that's the problem, though, right? He went to go copyright the name.
Neptunes. The Neptunes name. I'll go check the story again, but I'm pretty sure that's what it was.
Well, listen.
That shouldn't even, my whole thing with that is it sucks that that's even going to court. As long as me and you've been rocking, the fact that we started together, I should be able to call you and say, hey, make sure you include me on.
Well, that's how Dame feels.
This thing. Yeah. Yeah.
That's basically his whole argument.
So what? It's just money then. It's just greed, right?
I'd like to
I can't say it's money. I can't say it's greed. I think it's just...
I like to think it was an overstep.
When the circles grow apart...
thinking about him, but you should have been.
You should have been. You know how I feel about Dave, so. You know how I feel about Dave, and Dave feels about me, so.
Man, you guys just need to talk, man. That's all.
I've always been open to talk to him. He don't want to talk to me. I get on the phone with him. I ain't tripping off that.
He said... He said you're upset because he had to check you on some bullshit.
What does check me mean? Like we had a little bit of a disagreement over text message. Like he didn't check me. Like he didn't physically come up and intimidate me, if that's the way he made it sound. We never.
Yeah, but a check doesn't always. It doesn't mean that.
No, it was like I said, hey, because Jay-Z had done something, and I'm like, hey, do you want to do an interview about this? Like, oh, why would I talk about another man? I'm like, okay, cool. And then a week later, he makes a video talking specifically about what I asked him to do. And I was like, hey, I thought you said you don't want to talk about it. Oh, why do I got to clear things with you? And I'm like, well, nah, but you just told me that, and then it turned into a little bit of a back and forth, but it wasn't even a big deal. It was just like, all right, whatever. He didn't check me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, checking me was like, you know what I mean? Like, there's a certain amount of like aggression or whatever. There was really no aggression. It was just like
yeah, it was a check.
A disagreement.
The lean forward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yo,
that's a check.
What? Am I being
but we
checked
were
on
on-
what a
we
check
were on-
is? Is that what's going on? Being checked on what a check is?
I'm checking to show you what check it is. Man, listen, I'll get on the phone with him, whatever. I mean, in fact, I remember even when Sean Perez did an interview with him, I said, hey, listen, if you want to bring him on my show and you interview him, we'll even cut him a little appearance fee and whatever. Oh, you don't want to do it. Okay, cool. Fuck it. Like, I'm not tripping. Like, nothing serious has happened between me and him.
Nah, not at all.
So I never look at it as I got beef with Dame. I don't. Nothing serious
Yeah,
has
but
happened.
you did try to take a shot at Dame.
And he took shots at
Through
me.
me, though.
Through lots of people. When I do interviews, I'll speak my fucking
Through
piece.
lots of people.
Are you the only? You're not the only one. I'll show you.
everybody
I'll show you a
I do
dozen.
this all the time,
I'll
man.
show you a dozen interviews where I've talked shit about Dame. I can show you a dozen interviews with various people where he's talked shit about me on various platforms.
Right.
Why you keep talking about me? Because you keep talking about me too.
Y'all got the same complaint.
But I don't care. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not the one that's having to sell my last fucking asset over a lawsuit.
But
you know what I'm saying?
No. See, here we go again.
Are we recording right now?
You.
Are we recording right now? Are we
Yes,
recording?
we're recording.
Okay,
We're
go
recording.
ahead. I'll stand behind
Send the
this.
shots
All right.
to you again.
I'll stand behind this. I'll stand behind this.
So having to sell your last ad, no, I think that's a little false. He wanted to sell it in the first place. And somehow some shit
It was being blocked.
right, it was being blocked.
By Jay-Z.
So he allowed someone who was, I don't know who was suing, he let that go into judgment so the judge can say, okay, sell these shares so that you can pay off this judgment. That
He sold it to Cam and Mace.
I don't know if they bought it.
That was
The last I
he
spoke
alluded
to him,
that.
it wasn't.
But he sold it and the money went into the judgment. So
But
how is
he
that
can-
how
but
is that a good thing?
He can sell it at any price. It doesn't have to be the judgment price.
Okay.
So if somebody was to pay $5 million for it,
Is that what happened?
I don't know.
And the judgment was only $1 million.
The judgment I think was like
870.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's gonna get
Listen,
way more
man.
than that for them shares.
I don't have any real
Way
like.
more than
There's people I have real beef with. Like Dame is not one of those.
Right.
Dame is not one of those. In fact, when I see him doing these interviews and he's slurring his words, I feel sorry.
Why do you feel sorry?
Because at 50-something years old, you should be a little more lucid. You shouldn't be slurring when you're talking in a normal conversation.
Dame's a rock star, man. What do you expect? He's a
I
rock
feel
star.
bad. Either he's having,
The time of his life. That's kind of what it looks like.
time of his life.
Kind of what it looks like.
Either he has medical issues or there's drugs and alcohol involved. And either way, like that will catch up with you very. Like, I'm 50. I understand at this age you can't go hard the way you did in your 20s.
Right.
So my whole thing is when I see him, and Dame has always been one of my heroes. Like
Right.
seeing him with Rockefeller, I was actually thrilled when I first interviewed him, and when he asked to interview me, I went to his house. We did an interview. And we were forming a relationship, and shit went left. You know what I'm saying? But there was never any real beef. You know what I mean? Like when people asked me about him, like when I was on Drink Champs, like I told him what happened, and then he responded, and then I responded, and like it goes on and on.
And
But at the end of the day,
on and on and
yeah.
on.
And then by the end of the day, man,
And then I'll be in the middle of this shit like.
yeah, it's all good, man.
I didn't say that.
Dame could
I didn't
call.
say that.
Dame has my number. He could call me at any point, and we could have a suitable conversation. Dame ain't the type of person that records phone calls,
Right.
or whatever else. So I don't feel unsafe having a conversation with him, But the thing about it, and I mentioned this on Drink Champs, the thing that annoyed me was that me and him had a bit of a back and forth, and then he makes a video talking about our phone argument. But I'm the chatty patty. You see what I'm saying? That's where I have the problem. Where it's like you're the one that made this public. This could have just been handled like two men that he likes to push. Oh, men don't run to the internet. Men aren't chatty patties. But you're the one that ran to the internet and made a video first.
Look, I don't know who made the interview.
He made the video first. I can show you the damn video. He was getting a fucking haircut while he was doing it.
And then he was talking shit about you.
Talking shit about me.
All right.
Exactly.
The slurring, however, I
Yes.
wouldn't put that as a sign of anything. Because if that's the case, then we should be calling Nori like, yo, you good?
Nori will slur at the end of Drink Champs 4 or 5 hours in, which is understandable. I'm watching an interview and Dame is slurring from 2 minutes. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying.
He started the party before he showed up. That's all that means to me.
Listen, man, Dame's running around with some young joints. You know what I mean? He's making music. He's taking over a town. Somewhere I'm not gonna say where, but
the time of his life. That's it.
All right, man. Listen, like I said, Dame could call me. He's got my number, or he can get it from someone that knows me. We could have a conversation. And at the end of the day, I wish him well. He's had a lot of success over the course of his career. You know, I mean, not recently, unfortunately, but it's like I think a lot of times it's like he becomes his own worst enemy in a way. You know, I think people want to fuck with him, and then they start to fuck with him, and then things go left. You know, it's happened with a lot of people that I know. You know what I mean? And it's unfortunate because I think a lot of people would like to work with him, and then it ultimately doesn't work out because of his personality. But at the end of the day, if Dame ever wants to talk to me, he ever wants to work out any past issues, no problem. I have no issue. And if there's some business that could be done in the future, I'm always open to doing it. I think he's an interesting person. He has an interesting personality. He has interesting takes, and so forth. And I have nothing against him.
I don't got nothing.
Yeah, I know you guys are friends and you guys have a relationship, and that's cool.
Yeah,
you know?
but we share ideals on certain topics. You know, as far as being straight up and not backbiting each other, I respect that part. I like to know where I stand with somebody.
And you know where you stand with me, right?
Right.
Do I ever backbite?
This is why I be saying y'all just need to talk.
And I'm open to that. You know what I mean? Put us on a group chat. I ain't tripping.
I bet.
I'm not the one pushing the I ain't never fucking with this dude again. I'm not the one doing that.
Right.
I never have.
Well, let's just start it off. All right, we back.
It's Hoffa, trapper turn smack rapper. Only smack rapper that you know is smack rapper.